Okay, guys. Is it clear, my voice?
Yeah, clear, very clear.
Okay. Thank you, guys. By the way, before we starting our meeting or class today, I hope that everyone can unmute your microphone because I wanna hear your voice and also your spirit. Could you please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody should unmute your microphone. Can you
Yeah.
hear my
Yes.
voice?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
All participants, please unmute your
Yes.
microphone.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
still- Okay.
Halo. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, thank you. All participants, please unmute your microphone, please. I want to hear your voice and also your spirit today.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, guys. Do you hear my
Okay.
voice?
Yeah.
Hello. Do you hear my voice?
Thank you. Okay, guys. Can we start now?
Yes.
We start now, yes? Okay, thank you very much. Uh, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. Where is your voice? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. That's what I want to hear. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. How are you today?
Very good.
My heart,
Thank you.
my body are
Yeah.
friends.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that all people here stay safe and also stay healthy during this COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, okay, guys, welcome to this room. This is our second meeting of our class in Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School, right? Okay, guys, thank you very much for your spirit. And now I please you to mute again your microphone. Okay, thank you very much. I hope that your spirit will become a good starting of our spirit in running these activities. Okay, let me to introduce myself. My name is Widya Rizky Pratiwi, and then you can call me Widya or Wiwit, whatever you want. Now, I will handle the meeting for today, and I will become a host of this meeting. So, guys, before I speak up more, in this opportunity, first of all, let me to invite you all to pray, to remember, and to praise be to our God Allah who has given us the mercy and blessing to we can together here in this meeting via Google Meet application to conduct our our meeting in this Let's Speak class of Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School, and hopefully it will become our weekly meeting, and we will try to have a meeting in every week. And then salawat and taslim to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has been the leader of human being, who has brought us from the darkness to the lightness, and also from Jahiliyah era to this modern era. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't forget to say thank you very much to the President of Rumah Produktif Indonesia, Bapak Yanuari Syukur, and also the Director of Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School, Mrs. Maghdalena, who has given me the opportunity and time to handle the meeting at this afternoon. And then I would like to say thank you very much to all the participants because you have used your free time to join our meeting today. And I hope that these activities or our meeting today will give more advantages to all of us. I mean, well, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I'm really happy because there are 19 participants here, and inshallah it will be more after this. Why I'm really happy because I can see you, I can see you and I can meet you here, and I'm and I'm sure that the participants are from across Indonesia. Okay, let me to check it out. Maybe someone here is from Sumatra. Anybody from Sumatra? Please unmute your microphone.
Yes, Miss Wiwit. I'm from Sumatra.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miss Maghdalena, and then someone who are from Papua. Anyone from Papua here? Miss Uci? Okay. Maybe Mrs. Uci is late to join us. And then someone from Kalimantan, maybe? Kalimantan?
Yeah, I am from Kalimantan.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Rifa. And then from Sulawesi?
I am.
Okay, thank you, Miss
Yes.
Rifa. And from Java? Okay,
I am from Java.
Yes, thank you very much. So, I'm really happy because the participants are from across Indonesia, from Sumatra to Papua. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I remember that last week we have listened and seen one of inspiring people, namely Pak Yanwardi Sukur, who gave us more motivation to learn English, and of course open our mind that English is very important. So by mastering English, I think we can touch all countries in the world. And now we also have our honorable speaker, Bapak Ruli. Bapak Ruli is the lecturer of Muhammadiyah University of Yogyakarta. Is that right, Pak? Pak Muhammad Zahrul Anam, Pak Ruli.
Right, it's right.
Okay.
Yeah, correct, true.
True. Okay. Thank you, Pak. So we have also our honorable speaker, Pak Ruli, or Bapak Muhammad Zahrul Anam, will bring us to discuss the interesting topic today under the title Many Tongues, One Language, Why Singaporeans Speak English. Okay, guys, before we come to the main agenda in this meeting, I think that it's also interesting to know more about what is Rumah Produktif Indonesia itself. So what is the purpose to build or to establish this Rumah Produktif Indonesia? And then the introduction maybe will be delivered by our president as well as the founder of Rumah Produktif Indonesia itself, Bapak Yanwardi Sukur. Are you here, Pak Yanwardi Sukur? Pak Yanwardi Sukur. Okay.
Yes, Miss Widya.
Okay, yes. Yeah. So the introduction will be delivered by our president, Bapak Yanwardi Sukur, and then after the introduction, we will also have 4 participants here as the member of Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School would give us or tell us about their identities and maybe why they joined this RPI-ES or Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School and something else. So they will talk or they will speak up 3 until 5 minutes. So to efficiency the time, maybe it will be better to invite Bapak Yanwardi Sukur as the president of Rumah Produktif Indonesia and also the founder of this organization. So it is kindly request to deliver the introduction of RPI-ES. So time is yours, Pak Yanwardi.
Thank you, Mbak Wiwit. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining with our program today. This is a very good program, a very good initiative to increase our language. Why English? Because English is a global language. This is a very important language to us, not only for speaking, to speak English, but also to understand what people abroad say, what people abroad think about a global situation. For example, if we read some newspaper like New York Times. So with English master, with English ability, we can understand what American people think, what American people speak, what American people believe about something. So this is a very good time. This is a very good situation. I mean, in this pandemic era, we must to increase our language. We must to increase our ability to speak English, to learn English, and to understand English with this Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School. So welcome to our board and welcome to our program, and please join with us and share with us your experiences, your story, your opinion, and also your opinion how to make this organization increase in the future. So this is all for me, and thank you for Miss Wiwit and also Miss Maghdalena, and of course with my friend not Miss Roli, Mr. Roli. Thank you, Mbak Wiwit. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much for the explanation, Bapak Presiden, our President, Bapak Yanuar Syukur. So guys, we have known what is the purpose of the establishing of this organization, Rumah Produktif Indonesia, special Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School. So I think that we have a lot of activities to be done during this pandemic rather than do nothing. For example, to establish this organization, and then we can share. Honestly, I myself, I found some new friends here from Rumah Produktif Indonesia, and then I can learn together, especially in English. So I think that it's very important for us to join our organization and then our class every week, and also join our group every day. We can talk there and using English in our daily conversation. So I hope that the member of Rumah Produktif Indonesia Special English School will increase the day to the day, so we can work together, we can build relationship among other, and then we can give more contribution to Indonesia. So guys, after knowing what is the purpose of establishing this Rumah Produktif Indonesia, especially English School, now I will invite for participants as the member of Rumah Produktif Indonesia English School to deliver self introduction and to tell us more identities about themselves. Maybe after knowing where they come from or anything else, when we want to visit their place or their town or their cities, we can contact our friends. Okay, now I will give the chance to Mr. Herdi. Are you here, Mr. Herdi?
Unmute, please.
Mr. Herdi? No. Okay. Mbak Ruhania, are you here? Yes. Mbak Ruhania? No. She's late, maybe. Mr. Herdi?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
Here, Miss Widya. Widya.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm Nia here.
Okay. Okay, maybe I will give the first chance to you to introduce yourself and to tell your identity, something about yourself in 3 until 5 minutes. Time is yours.
Am I the first? Hello? Am I the first?
Yes.
Or I am the first who is.
Could you please? No?
Hello?
Halo Mbak Nia. Could you become the first speaker?
Okay. Okay, I will do it right now.
Yes.
Okay. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for the chance to introduce myself. My name is Rukhania. People call me Nia, but in my workplace, my friend call me Hani. And then why I joined this group because I really want to increase my English. Basically, I like English from I was in school. English is my favorite subject, so I really want to increase my English because my English is very passive. So by finding this group, I hope I can improve my English. I know this group from Mr. Yanwardi Sukur, and he is one of my writing mentor, my mentor in writing. I also join a writing community like Forum Lingkar Pena Jakarta. And so far, Alhamdulillah, I have published my writing in anthology books, some anthology books, and I'm working on my solo books right now. And Mr. Yanwardi Sukur is helping me with and support me to finish my what is it, my books, solo books, and he is very helping me in writing, and he gives me some what is a suggestion how to make the right writing, something like that. And then, oh yeah, by the way, I am living in Jakarta, in East Jakarta, and my activity is teaching English. Uh, I teach in one of English course in Depok. Yeah, but actually, every day I don't speak English because I have no partner to talk to. So I need to find someone who can be my partner in speaking English. Yeah. And then what else? I think that's enough for my introduction, yeah, Miss Wiwit.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the chance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Nia. That's very interesting introduction. Maybe I think to give more feedback, I would like to invite one participants who would like to ask question to Mbak Nia because so we can talk each other. Okay? Anyone? Do you want to ask question, please?
No question, please.
Only one question. I would like to invite one participant. So rather than become a passive listener, so maybe you can ask a more simple question to Mbak Nia. Anyone, please? No question? No more question? No question? Okay, Mbak Mariam, do you have question to Mbak Nia?
Yeah.
Yes, time is yours, please.
Mbak Nia,
Yeah.
I am Mariam. I just wanna asking you about are you an editor? Do you have a book? Do you have
Sorry,
a book? I mean,
sorry, your voice is not clear.
hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
Mbak Nia.
Yeah, okay. What is it? What's the question?
Hello.
Yeah.
Could you listen me?
Yes, I hear you. I hear you.
I just wanna ask you about because you are a writer. You are a writer. So I just wanna ask you about your Do you have a book? So what book do you write?
Okay.
Have you write?
Yeah. I have some. Okay, I have some.
Hello, what book have you read?
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Okay. I'm so sorry because my network.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, I have published my anthology books with other writers.
My voice is not
This
clear.
anthology, the book is written by some writers, not only me. Yeah, I have maybe about 11 books, 11 anthology books.
Wow, amazing.
Okay, is it enough?
Okay, thank you. So
Okay.
Mbak Nia has published 11 anthology book. That's the
Yeah.
answer. Thank you, Mbak Nia. Thank you for your time.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yes. Okay, now that's a very interesting explanation or self-introduction from Mbak Nia. And then maybe I will give the chance to the second chance to Mr. Herdi. Are you here?
Hello,
Yes, Mr. Herdi.
can you hear my voice?
Okay, sorry. This is the time for you to to introduce yourself. Would you please?
Okay. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, that's very
Okay.
clear. Thank you.
Okay.
Time's yours.
Okay. Uh, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And good afternoon, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I'm very nervous now because actually I don't have a basic education before. So I'm sure that so many mistakes, especially grammatical error. But let me try for this. Well, my full name is Herdi Ibrahim Gusti, but you can call me Herdi. I was born on Enrekang, 3rd December 1986. For your information, that Enrekang is the north north side from Makassar, plus minus 245 kilometers from Makassar. But I stay on Bulukumba since 2009. Bulukumba is the south side from Makassar, plus minus 150 kilometers. I am a civil servant. I work in environmental and forest office, Bulukumba Regency. Actually, my basic education is a chemical on State University of Makassar from 2004 until 2008. My father is a teacher and my mother is a housewife. I have three sisters and two brothers. Actually, my hobbies are playing badminton, watching a movie, and then reading a book. Well, I want to tell you about my hobbies. What is it? The first, I love badminton very much. In Bulukumba, I can play 3 until 4 times a week. Before COVID-19 came to Indonesia. What else? And uh, uh, I have a big dream. One day I can build a big building in Bulukumba or in Makassar, badminton building. I hope you get my point.
Yeah.
Yes. Besides playing badminton, my hobbies are watching movies. My favorite movies is adventure or survival genre, like Jungle. Jungle is Daniel Radcliffe, the actor of Harry Potter, and Maze Runner 1 until 3. The Blue Sea is a film.
about a shark, or many more. And my hobby is also reading a book. I love self-improvement genre book. I love a writer from Indonesia. His name Perlindungan Marpaung. Uh, he has many books such as um, Setengah Isi Setengah Kosong, Fulfilling Life, and etc. I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Herdi. That's very interesting introduction. So Mr. Herdi is also from South Sulawesi. And then I would like to invite one participant to ask one question to Mr. Herdi.
No more question, please.
Someone who wanna ask question?
No more.
No question?
Yes. Enough, maybe.
No question?
It's clear.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
that's very
Thank
clear.
you, Miss Sophia.
Thank you, Mr. Herdi. Thank you for your nice introduction. You support each other, right? After this, I would like to give the chance to Mrs. Sofinia Gufron. Are you here, Mrs.?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe this is the time for you.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sofinia Gufron, but my famous name is Sophie Gufron. So if you find me in social media, you can find my name is Sophie Gufron. I come from East Java, but now I live in Cirebon since 2018. But before I'm living in Cirebon, I live in Jakarta for 20 years old. 20 years old.
Oh.
Yeah. So I know this Rumah Produktif Indonesia from from Mr. Januardi. He is my friend. He's my friend because we are from the same school, that is University of Indonesia. We graduated from Middle East and Islamic Studies postgraduate program of University of Indonesia. Now, actually, I am part-time working at NU Healthy Institution. I become coordinator of program Pesantren Sehat, the program who develop promotion to student in the pesantren about the clean and healthy lifestyle. And also sometimes I teach in ISIF Cirebon Islamic ISIF. What kepanjangan of ISIF? And besides that, to support my activities, I also become an online seller. So if you wanna find the mukena or baju lebaran, you can visit my FB. Sekalian promosi. Maybe apa lagi ya? My hobby is traveling. My hobby is traveling to remote area, like Sebatik, like the remote island Sebatik, and also Papua, Sulawesi. That's the place, the interesting place for me, because I can find the my favorite food is that ikan bakar,
Oh.
and also apa ya? Yeah, it's like that.
Choto maybe?
Maybe that's all. Maybe ya, my introduce for you all.
Okay. It's enough, Mbak Sophie?
I think enough.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe I invite one participant to ask question to Ibu Sophie. Any question from participants? No question? Okay, no question. Maybe I want to ask question to you, Ibu Sophie.
Yeah.
You say just now that you have ever visit Makassar. So where did you go when you were at Makassar? And then what do you think about Makassar? And what is the interesting place you think in Makassar?
First time I visit Makassar in 2000. But at that time, Makassar is still what ya? Still not very interesting like now. But the interesting thing, if I go to Makassar, is go to warung apa ya? Warung ikan.
Sop saudara, maybe?
No, warung ikan bakar in Ratu, apa ya nama tempatnya? Forget the name. But
Okay.
if we go to Makassar, I always go to the one of the fish warung at the main of Makassar, the central of Makassar.
Is it Losari Beach?
Yeah, of course, Losari Beach, and also the place of beli itu loh.
Sambal opu?
Beli oleh-oleh. Yeah, sambal
Yes.
opu, and also going to in Maros. What the name in
Bantimurung?
Maros? Yeah, Bantimurung.
Okay.
And also I have visited to Pinrang. What the one of region in Makassar?
Yes.
2 hours or 3 hours from Makassar. Kepulauan.
Oh, Pangkep.
Ya, Pangkep.
Yeah, okay. That's you remember all the places in Makassar.
Yeah.
So actually, I have some questions, but maybe we can continue in Japri.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Sophie. And maybe this is the last participant. Her name is Winda Septiana. Are you here, Winda?
I think Winda is still praying Zuhur. She said to me.
Okay. So okay, because Winda is in Malaysia. So the participants here is not only from Indonesia but also from Malaysia. And then because Winda is late, so maybe I will give the chance to her after discussion session, right, Kak Ruli, ya? Okay. And now maybe I would like to say thank you very much for all the participants who have introduced themselves and to tell us everything about their identities. And then I hope that after hearing or listening our friends' introduction, we can know more each other. and then it can increase our relationship. So now we come to the main agenda in our meeting today. We have our honorable speaker, namely Bapak Muhammad Zahrul Anam. We can call him Pak Ruli or Pak Zahrul. He is the lecturer of Muhammadiyah University of Yogyakarta, and he is also the secretary of Master in International Relationship of Muhammadiyah University of Yogyakarta. I think he has a lot of experiences as well as organization experiences, and he is also uh, an active lecturer because he always join some kinds of workshops, seminars, and also training. And he completed his bachelor degree in EIN Sunan Kalijaga, Yogyakarta, and also master degree in Indonesia University, Middle East and Islamic Studies major in politics and international relations for Middle East. Yeah, maybe the same with Pak Yanwardi and Ibu Sophie, right? Okay, now okay. Bapak Ruli would like to share anything or his point of view about the interesting topic today, and the title of his presentation about many tongues, one language, why Singaporeans speak English. So he would like to tell us about the culture or anything else in Singapore country. So now we from Indonesia, we want to move while to Singapore country. Is that right, Pak Ruli? Maybe to
Yes.
efficiency the time, I would like to invite you to make presentations about this interesting topic.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm happy to see all of you, particularly from the eastern of Indonesia. So many of you, I noticed that you are coming from the eastern part of Indonesia, from Makassar, from what else? Yeah, the point is from eastern part of Indonesia. It is quite important because as far as I know, many scholarship provider, yeah, from Australia, from United States now prioritize people coming from eastern of Indonesia to get scholarship. Yeah. So what I mean is that you have more opportunity to get scholarship than your friend come from the western part of Indonesia. You have more opportunity. Yeah, because the Australian, the United States, whatever it is now, focus on the development of eastern part of Indonesia. So I'm happy to see all of you. And this moment, I would like to greet one of the participant. I know her very well. Welcome, Mbak Trias. Mbak Trias. Mbak Trias is what is this? IMAP alumni, the same as me and Pak Yanwardi Syukur. She is a PhD and lecturer in Universitas Islam Indonesia, Yogyakarta. Yeah? And her sister is Bu Rita, yeah, member of the what is it? Children Commission of National Children Commission of Indonesia. Okay, today I would like to address the simple topic here. Very simple topic. It is about the Singapore, and I know all of you know about the Singapore. Singapore is very small state. You know, very small state. Probably it is not large as the West Java. Yeah, it's smaller than West Java. Yeah, but it is small state. It is small city state, but in terms of economic, it's very high. Yeah. In terms of the economic development, Singapore is higher than Indonesia and neighbor states. So there are many factors why the Singapore become the advanced economic development. Many factors. One factor I would like to elaborate is about the language. Yeah. So language or English language can encourage the Singapore to become advanced economic development states. This is the point why I choose the Singaporean to be presented in this meeting. Let me present my presentation. I would like to. Can anyone see my presentation now? Excuse me. Can anyone see this presentation?
No.
No, no, not yet.
No?
I cannot see. I cannot
No.
see it.
Wait. Wait. Now? What about now? Anyone
No,
see the
No,
I don't
no.
see. I don't see it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
okay?
Okay. Yes, it's good.
Everyone can see my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see.
I can.
Okay. Okay, let's get started. Here you will see the cover of book. Yeah. The title of book is From Third Word to the First. This book is actually written by Lee Kuan Yew, and everybody knows Lee Kuan Yew is a founder of the Singapore. So it is a book actually. If you want to read the entire book, you can download free in Lipkin, or probably I can share this book later on, yeah, in a group, yeah, WhatsApp group, yeah, later on. But it is a good book. How the Lee Kuan Yew tell a story about the development of the Singapore. How he developed the Singapore from the third word to the first. At the past time, yeah, Singapore was like many developing countries like Indonesia. Yeah, under the British colonial. The Singapore economic is not quite good, yeah, the same as Indonesia under the Japanese colony or Dutch colony, yeah. But later on, this guy, this man, this gentleman, um, changed everything, and finally, the Singapore become very advanced in economics, yeah. So one of factors about the language. So that's why I give a title "Many Tongues, One Language." Many tongues of one language is subtitle of this book. Yeah. Chapter 11, yeah, page 146. Yeah, you can find Lee Kuan Yew wrote the title, which is "Many Tongues, One Language." Wow. So here I write that the use of English language in Singapore, it is not a given. Yeah, it is not natural. Yeah, but the use of English in Singapore is kind of process through a process. Yeah, so it is not instantly. Yeah, there is a historical reason. Yeah, historical reason why Singapore prefer to speak English rather than to persist or to prevent their own language. So in Singapore, there are many indigenous languages. Yeah, there are many indigenous languages. Banyak bahasa asli ya. There are original languages. Yeah. For example, Malay, Chinese, Indian. Yeah. But finally, this country prefers to use the English language. So there is a particular reason, yeah, that we would like to elaborate later on. Yeah. So I will quote or cite the words of the Lee Kuan Yew about the importance of English language. Ya, jadi saya hanya mengquote saja kata-kata Pak Lee Kuan Yew ya in his book ya about the importance of the use of English language. Here it is the beginning. Yeah, it is the background. Lee Kuan Yew said Singapore never had one common language. It was a polyglot community under colonial rule. Under the British colonial, Singapore society speak with their own language. For Chinese, they will speak Chinese. For Malay community, they will speak Malay. Yeah. For English educated background, they speak English. Yeah. So, what is the common language? None, nothing. Yeah. At the beginning, no one language agreed by the society to use. Yeah. Every society speak with their own language. Yeah. So, what else? So, then the Lee Kuan Yew continued because the different races were taught their own language, their emotional attachment to their mother tongue was deep. What does it mean? It means that every society then establish or build the education institution. Yeah, Chinese society has the school. Yeah, Chinese school. Malay society also has the Malay school. Yeah. English also
Haruli. Okay, Pak Ruli. Where is your voice, Pak Ruli? Pak Ruli. Oh my God. The signal maybe is bad there. Something trouble. We cannot hear his voice. Paruli, are you here? Paruli? Okay, guys, while waiting Mr. Ruli to continue or yes, to continue again the presentation, I would like to invite Miss Winda. Are you here, Miss Winda? Winda? Miss Winda? Are you hear my voice? Miss Winda, are you here? You listen my voice? No?
I think she's not joined yet.
Okay. So now, while waiting, Paroli, Paroli maybe bring us to the interesting topic. Let's talk about many languages, many tongues, one language. Why Singaporeans speak English? Maybe I don't know. Okay, because there is no information from Paruli, I have sent a message to him, but it couldn't be delivered also. Maybe I would like to try to explain what Mr. Ruli explained to us about why English become the official or the first language in Singapore. So Mr. Louis said just now that some years ago, English is become the third language. The rule or the position of English in Singapore is the third language, maybe a foreign language. Same with our country. Our country is also put English as a third or foreign language. So now English become the first language or the official language in Singapore. So Mr. Ruli maybe try to explain to us why English become the first language in Singapore, and the economy increase highly in that country because maybe one of the factors because of education. And then so it cannot be denied from the rule of Lee Kuan Yew as the founder of Singapore. As the founder of Singapore, and Lee Kuan Yew, I think, is also the first prime minister in Singapore, and so Lee Kuan Yew tried to make some efforts how to make English become the first language in Singapore. And then Mr. Ruli told to us that in some years ago, every ethnic in that country, in Singapore, build or establish their own school. For example, China's also has their own China school. Malay also has their own school, namely a Malay school, and also Indian also has their own school, namely Indian school. So here, Indian or India people speak Tamil, if I'm not mistaken, and therefore maybe there are three big ethnics there, namely China, Malaysia, and also India. And then what else? Okay, Pak Ruli, are you here? Pak Ruli, are you here? Do you hear? Do you listen my voice? The signal is bad. He sent me a message, and he said that the signal is bad. So I will continue. Oh my God. Well, guys. So okay, the first effort.
Excuse me.
Okay, Pak Ruli.
Hello.
Okay. I'm really happy to hear your voice. Okay, you can continue, please, Paruli.
Okay, I use my phone, my cell phone. Yeah, I use my cell phone, so I cannot present my presentation anymore. However, I would like to give to explain briefly about the importance of English use in Singapore. Yeah. probably the committee can share my presentation to the WhatsApp group. Yeah, so you can check my presentation by yourself. Okay. I would like to explain very, very briefly. So, because why? I talk very long time, I'm afraid my signal will lose. So um, uh, the topic is about the reason why Singaporeans speak English. Yeah, the reason number one. So I would like to give a short explanation. Yeah, the reason number one is about the economy. Yeah, it's about the economic. Lee Kuan Yew said, yeah, as an international trading community, we would not make a living if we use Malay, Chinese, or Tamil. Yeah. Um, Here, Lee Kuan Yew has the ideality: if the Singaporean wants to engage actively in economic development, world economic development, Singaporean must actively speak in English. So it is impossible if you want to engage in international economic activity, you use your own language. For example, Indonesia, the foreigner do not know your own language. They know about the English, so there is no choice for us unless we are mastering the English. This is the point of the Lee Kuan Yew. So if you want to develop your economic, yeah, you want to actively engage in economic activity internationally, so English is a must. Yeah, this is the reason. Yeah, uh, the reason number one is about economic development. Yeah, the point is English is a requirement to develop state economy. Yeah, this is the reason number one. Okay, the reason number two. This number two. The reason number two is about the equality. Equality. Yeah. As I said before, that Lee Kuan Yew treated equally about the all indigenous languages. Yeah. With the English, if everybody in Singapore speak in English, so everybody will be felt equally. Yeah. So Malay do not feel superior than Chinese, yeah, and vice versa. Chinese is not superior, is not more superior than Malay or Indian, yeah. So with the English, everybody is equal, yeah. Everybody is equal. It is like the Bahasa Indonesia, for example, yeah. Um, why we use the Indonesian as the national or official language? Because Indonesia is equal, yeah. So Japanese is not superior than others, yeah. So this is the same as the Singapore. By using English, everybody is equal. Yeah, there is no superiority, yeah, over others. This is reason number two. Okay, reason number three. Excuse me, because I cannot present my PPT. Yeah, it is about the technical difficulties. Yeah, if I present, I didn't realize the connection, so the connection will lost. Even though I talk much about this presentation. Then reason number three is about the security. Yeah, security. Why security has become a factor of the using English in Singapore? Yes, it is because um, the troop, yeah, the troop must understand what the commander said. Yeah. For example, if the commander is Chinese, yeah, the commander cannot speak Chinese to the troops. Yeah. So you can imagine if the commander speak Chinese to the Malay troop, they will not understand what the commander said. They will not understand. Uh, so it is very important. The troop must understand each other. Yeah. the instruction, the commander should give the clear instruction to the troops, to the soldier. Yeah. So if the commander use the different language with what the soldier speak, so the soldier will be confused. For example, the commander is Malay, the soldiers are Chinese. And the Malay commander use Malay, the soldiers do not learn about Malay. The soldiers only speak Chinese. So how can how can the commander give the instruction? Yeah, probably the commander want to say shoot in Chinese, but it is different interpretation of the soldier. So it is very dangerous in the battle field, ya, in the battlefield di perang itu ya, itu very dangerous. So we must have a one common language, ya, that can be used by commander and can be understood by the soldiers. Yeah, soldiers can understand what the commander command. Yeah, what the commander instruction. This is very important. Okay, this is about the security. Yeah, it's about this the reason about the security. So what else? Okay, this is the last. Yeah, this is the last. The reason. Yeah, the last reason why Singaporeans speak English. It is about education. It is about education. Last time, yeah, Nanyang Technology of University use Mandarin for medium of instruction. Yeah, use Mandarin for Chinese. Yeah. Then what happened? After the student graduated from Nanyang Technology of University, the graduates didn't have much opportunity to work. Yeah. They do not have opportunity to work. Why? Because working overseas or working abroad needs the ability to speak in English. Yeah, and the graduates only know about the Mandarin or Chinese. So what happened? Graduates do not have a job. They are unemployment. They are unemployed. Yeah, they cannot compete with the foreigner. So this problem leads Lee Kuan Yew to change everything. Yeah, to change the education system. Okay, Lee Kuan Yew said, I will change the education system, and I would like to use English as medium of instruction in education, in every education. So after the graduate from the school, yeah, the people of Singapore can have an equal opportunity to have or to work overseas or to work abroad. Yeah, so there is no unemployment anymore. Yeah, because we have the same quality with the foreign or overseas education. Yeah, by using English. This is the arguments why Singaporean now speak English as the common language for the countries. It is about the what is it? About the education, about the security, about the economic, about the pride. Yeah. So there are four reasons why the Singaporean speak English. Okay, I'm sorry, I cannot what is it present my PPT anymore because of bad signal, yeah, in my home. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the telling us or sharing your point of view about why Singaporeans speak English, Paruli. And actually, no worry because Pak Yanuar Disukur has shared about the PowerPoint to our group, so everybody can read maybe. the material in group.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I think that's the main point why Singaporeans speak English and make English become their official or their first language. That right? Because some years ago, English was the third language in that country. Is that right, Paruli? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Our honorable speaker has shared to us that there are four languages used by the people in Singapore. The languages are Chinese language, Malay, and also Tamil language, and also English
Correct.
language. Okay,
Yeah.
that's from
True.
China, Malay, and also Indian people. So, guys, there are four reasons why Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, as the founder of Singapore, and also the first Prime Minister of Singapore. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why she try to make English as the first language or official language in that country? Because there are four main reasons. The first is about economy, because Singapore will become the it's related to the global economic engagement, because Singapore is international trading community, and the second one is talking about national pride. This is about equality. So there is no more about China's school, and also Malay school, and also Indian school. So all of the education are equal to English language as their instructional language in that school. And then the third is about security. Why it is very important? Because it's related to the soldier, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And then the fourth, I think this is a very interesting and very important for us. We talk about the education. So the quality of education to compete globally. So when we couldn't master English, I think it is impossible to work overseas, because English is international language. So we don't use Chinese language, or we don't use Tamil language to be globally people.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so.
Yes. So I think it's very interesting for us, and I think it can be also how to say diberlakukan in our country. Yeah, I think our government has tried some effort to make English become a wider communication in our language in our country, but we also find some problems or some troubles how to make it possible. I think that it's also important to make or to change the positions of English as the third language in our country, or the foreign language, to become we couldn't say we have to make the first language, but become the second language. I think it's also impossible, and we need some effort to make it possible. So I think that it can open our mind, or it can open our critical thinking to discuss about this interesting topic, and to share each other. Maybe what can we do to make our position is the same with Singapore country. Okay, now I would like to open the first session for three audience to ask question, or to give your comments or your point of view about this topic. Okay, time is yours for the audience. Do you have any comments, any questions, or some point of view about this interesting topic? Okay, anyone?
Okay. I have any question?
Who's that? Pak Ferry?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, time is yours.
Thank you. The first is how to keep the culture of Singapore. Yeah. When
Okay.
the basic language is English, because the basic culture in Singapore, Malayan, yeah, Malayan tradition, and we said in the last century we call the Nusantara. Nusantara is Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines. One language, the Malayan language, and how to what is to keep the culture of Singapore, the basic culture, yeah, in Singapore. If we know that the first language in Singapore is English language, and the second is the question number 2. How about the criteria, yeah, to follow the criteria, how to manage the citizen to make the own citizen of Singapore can speak by English, because the basic culture is Malayan language. Yeah. How to manage the citizen of Singapore, yeah, to speak by English, yeah.
Okay.
From the first when the language is established, yeah. I think just to say to question, yeah, how to keep the Singapore culture, and how to manage what is the citizen, yeah, about the new instruction, yeah, that the language, that the English basic of language in Singapore.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that's very clear, Pak Ferry. Thank you very much for your nice question. Maybe I wanna repeat again the question. The first one is because as we know that there are many cultures in Singapore, and then I think that it's very hard to make citizens in that country realize how English important in our daily life. I think that for the first time, how to say, for the first time, Lee Kuan Yew is very hard to make the citizens realize the importance of English. So how to keep the culture, and then how to manage the citizens to realize or to understand that English is really important for them to make English as become their first or their official language. Yes, is that correct, Pak Ferry? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Is it clear, Pak Ruli, or I
Yeah.
wanna find
Yes,
another? You
yeah, it
wanna
is clear.
answer directly?
No, it is clear. It is clear. It
You
is
wanna
clear.
answer directly, or I have to invite two others person to ask question?
Okay, invite to others person.
Okay, guys. I will invite two others participants to ask question to Mr. Ruli. Do you have any question? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Don't be a silent participant. Come on, please pick up, please.
Maybe
Come on, please. No question.
Yes, me.
Who's that?
My name is Rahmat.
Okay, Mr. Rahmat Ramadan Hasibuan.
Yes, that's my
Okay.
name.
Okay, time is yours.
Yeah, I want to ask about, as we know, Singapore is a fine country. Do you think there is a sanction for the citizen or for the people or the soldiers if they did not use English as the first language of this nation, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Is it clear, Mr. Ruli? Because I couldn't catch.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's about the sanction.
Okay, because maybe that's a bad signal. Next, for the third participant, who wanna ask question? You wanna ask question, please? No more question.
Maybe Mr. Ruli have to answer the question first.
Okay. While waiting another participants to ask the question, maybe this is the time to answer these two participants about their question. Could you please, Mr. Ruli?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. It is a very hard question, for me to answer.
Okay.
The first is how to maintain the indigenous culture existed before the English usage. For example, Malay. You said about the Nusantara. What else? About the Chinese, about the Indian. Well, if I'm not mistaken, when I read the book of Lee Kuan Yew, he said about the indigenous schools. What I mean, Lee Kuan Yew allows the existing indigenous schools to operate. Do you know what I mean? The way to maintain the culture in Singapore, on the way to maintain the diverse culture in Singapore, is through the multinational schools. So it is allowed to have Malay school. Malay school is allowable. It's allowed. Chinese school is also allowed to operate. Indian school is also allowed to operate. However, those language should be taught by English. Do you know what I mean? The medium instruction of each school still English. Even there is a Malay school, but the medium of instruction in the school using English. The teacher teach Malay language by using English language. In Indian school, the Indian teacher teach math, teach physics, teach social, and etc. Use English as medium instruction. Even they teach Indian language by using English. English is still number one. But the school is about Indian. Okay, Chinese is allowed to use for daily language for a particular Chinese community. They can speak in Chinese, but in the formal school of Chinese, all teachers, Chinese teacher, teach the Chinese language by speaking English. So there is a Singlish in Singapore, English by Singaporean accent, Chinese Singaporean accent. This is kind of the culture of the Chinese in Singapore, influence the English language. So the first step is allowing the operation of the culture-based school, sekolah yang berbasis kultural, Okay. This is also answer for the second questions, how to manage the society. They are forced culturally. They are forced. They are forced to speak English in school, in office administration, in a public area. They are forced to speak in English. The second one, how to manage a citizen through political policy. through political policy. In the beginning, like when you emphasize coercively, emphasize strictly about the usage of the English or the use of English, memaksa, because Lee Kuan Yew was the authoritarian leader, so he forced coercively for every single for community to speak in English, because they have a power, they have a political power at the moment. So the point is about the managing the society through the cultural way and the political way. And for the second question about the punishment, you asked the question, for people who are not speaking English, are they going to be punished or not? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the political punishment. But probably they will receive the social punishment. They are those who are speaking English, or those who are understanding about the English very much in Singapore, they are socially isolated. They are socially isolated because they cannot communicate with the others. Most Singaporeans speak English, but if one minority group, for example, refuse using English, they are socially isolated. Probably this is the social punishment. This is not political punishment. This is not law punishment, but it is a social punishment. Okay, this is what I can give there to answer. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for a very clear explanation, Paruli. So, guys, okay, what I'm catching from what Paruli just now explanation, that the way English become the first language, because English is taught us a medium of instruction in formal school. Is that right, Parulia?
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, when we learned biology, we learned about maths, we learned about social science, and so on. The teacher had to use English to explain the material, even though you teach maths, you teach biology, and so on. So you have to speak in English, and all the people in that school, even the school is China school or Malay school, and so on. So the medium of instruction is English. So so everybody have to speak English. And then talking about the punishment, because Lee Kuan Yew is how to say, Lee Kuan Yew is maybe the first prime minister. The citizens are forced to speak English, and when they do not speak English, they will get the punishment. But the punishment is not talk about political punishment, but social punishment. They will be isolated from the wider society. Okay, maybe it's very clear, I think. Next, I would like to invite the third participants who want to ask a question to Mr. Ruli. You have question? Welcome, Widya. Mbak Sophie, maybe?
Yeah.
You have question?
I don't know. This is question or just
just comment.
Just comment.
Okay.
I know in Singaporean is not only Indian, Malayan, and also Chinese, but also that I know citizen from Bugis and also from Boyan. How about that people treated by the government that in that country?
Is that clear, Pak Ruli?
Very clear.
Okay. Maybe you can answer directly.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much for questions. Yes, about migration. Yeah, many Indonesian people migrated to neighbor country to work. Yeah, or to maybe- can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ethnicity you mentioned about the Bugis and the Boyan. Boyan is located in East Java. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a then the North Java. Boyan is is the term um is the term from the Dutch. Yeah, Boyan. The original name is Bawean. Yeah. It is located in north part of the Gresik, probably. Yeah, it is part of the Gresik district. Yeah, in East Java. Most of Bawean people migrated to Malaysia, migrated to Singapore as a domestic worker. Yeah, Indonesian domestic worker, or we can say in Indonesia as PRT or pembantu rumah tangga. Yeah, so they look for the job. Yeah, for being domestic migrant worker, domestic what's that? For being a PRT, a domestic migrant worker. So I think if they want to be accepted as a worker in Singapore, they have to, unless they can speak English. Yeah. If they cannot speak English, probably um, their opportunity to have a job is very limited. Why? Because they only work for Malay employers. Yeah. Can you hear my voice? Yes.
Yeah.
Still following me? Okay. For Boyan, in particular, yeah, for Boyan in particular, those who work as domestic worker as PRT, if they cannot speak English, their job opportunity is very limited. Yeah, yeah. Work for Malay employers. Yeah, who can speak Malay, who can speak Malay. Yeah, for Bawian probably can speak Malay. Yeah, but they cannot, for example, look for other employers. Yeah, they cannot work for Chinese employers. They cannot work for expatriate employers. Yeah, they only they work for only sorry, they work for Malay employers only. Yeah, it's very limited. It's very limited. So that's why even a domestic worker, they have to be able to speak English. Yeah. Let me give an example. Yeah, we have a competitor. Yeah, they are from Philippines. Yeah, the Filipino domestic workers. Yeah, Indonesia and Philippines are large domestic worker exporter. Yeah, we send um, many domestic workers to Saudi Arabia, to Singapore, to Taiwan, to Malaysia. Yeah, very large in number. And the disadvantage of the worker coming from Indonesia is about the language. Yeah, different from the Filipino domestic workers. Filipino domestic workers are able to speak English fluently, clearly. Yeah. So what happened next? The Filipino domestic workers have higher salary than Bawean has. Yeah. So if the Bawean still do not want to learn about the English, first their opportunity will be limited. Yeah. Second, the salary will be decreased. Yeah. So their salary will be lower than Filipino domestic workers who can speak English very fluently. So this is the impact of the worker who do not want to speak English in Singapore. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's very clear. I think that's very clear explanation that everybody who want to enter Singapore, you have to speak English. For example, for the job seeker, for the job seeker or employer, if you wanna get a higher salary, so you have to speak English. You have to be able to speak English fluently. And for someone, for example, Bawean or Buginese people who cannot speak English well, the opportunity will be limited, and also the salary will be lower than someone who can speak English well. So I think that English is very important nowadays. Okay, guys, I think it's very clear. I would like. Can I open the second session? Maybe for two audience or two participants who wanna ask question. No more question. No question, please. Time is yours. No more question. Where is your spirit, guys? No question. Okay, because
I have question. I have a question.
Who's that?
My name is Arif.
Okay, Mr. Arif Alam.
Yes.
Time is yours.
Okay, if only we cannot speak English well, but we can speak another language like the Mandarin language. Are our opportunity also good or not?
Sorry, could you please repeat?
If only we cannot speak English well, but we can speak another language like Mandarin language in Singapore. Our opportunity to looking for a job in Singapore also good or not?
Okay, is it clear, Pak Ruli?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay,
It's clear.
thank you very much, Pak Arif.
Okay,
You're
thank you very much. Nowadays, the development of the job opportunity probably changed, right? Following the rise of Chinese, the rise of China, yeah. The rise of China leads people to learn about the other language than English, which is Chinese, yeah. Because the rise of China, yeah. If you follow, for example, the development economic of China at the moment, now China's economic power is the or becomes the competitor for the Western economic power. So, okay, there is this times for learning Mandarin, for learning Chinese. Yeah. So what happened in Singapore? In Singapore, population is predominantly Chinese. Yeah, it's predominantly Chinese. However, the official language remains English. Yeah. So for those who only can speak Chinese, yeah, probably they can communicate with the Chinese communities, but they cannot engage into the other communities. For example, Malay communities or Indian communities. As I mentioned before about the Boyan, about the Bugis, yeah. If one community only speak with particular language and they cannot speak English very well, they cannot adapt the circumstances or conditions. Yeah. Why? Because Singapore recognize English as common language. It is the same thing with Indonesia, for example. Yeah, the foreigner who want to work in Indonesia, for example, they must know about the Indonesian language. Yeah. They must know about the Indonesian culture. Yeah, language is part of the Indonesian culture, so they must know about the culture. So it is the same thing. Yeah, if you notice, for example, in Australian universities, now in Taiwan universities, yeah, the countries who has the interest to Indonesia, who has the interest to Indonesia. Probably Australia has interest to Indonesia. They want to invest. They want to explore the natural resources in Indonesia, for example. So the way to get through is Indonesian language. So in some Australian university teach Indonesian language. Why? It is because to give Australian opportunity to work in Indonesia, yeah, to invest in Indonesia. It is the same thing. If the Chinese people only speak the Chinese, probably they can engage for Chinese community only. They cannot engage into the wider community, yeah, that Singapore has, Malay community or Indian community. So again, probably the opportunity is limited. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, Mr. Ruli. I think it's very clear, and the question maybe will be similar with the previous question from Ibu Sophie. So that when you couldn't speak English well or can speak English fluently, I think that the opportunity will be limited and also the salary will be lower. Okay, that's the main point. So you have to master English whenever and wherever you are. So is there any question more from the participants? No more question? Maybe no more question from the participants. Paroli, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Okay.
The last must be more difficult.
Okay. Because no more questions, so I think I have to use this opportunity to ask one question.
I have a question, Ms. Widya.
Who's that?
Januardi.
Okay. Pak Yanuardi.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Widya. I have one question to Mas Zahrul Anam, Mas Ruli. We know that Singapore now is very very good city, very good state in terms of economy, prosperity, and etc. So my question is, what is the big secret of Singaporean character that we as Indonesian we can learn from them?
Okay, Paroli, you get a
yes.
point?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Wow, big secret. Okay, it's very difficult question from the Mr. President, yeah. Okay, I think the first thing first that make a Singapore can develop very well is it about the leadership. Yeah, I think it is very important, the leadership. Yeah, as you know, the Lee Kuan Yew is a leader as old as the Mahathir Muhammad and Suharto. Yeah, in Indonesia we have Suharto, in Malaysia has Mahathir Muhammad, and in Singapore has Lee Kuan Yew. What is it? They are three musketeers. Yeah, they are three musketeers that develop each state. Yeah, but we can trace the economic development from the first those leader reign or lead, yeah, Um, after Lee Kuan Yew become the prime minister, he is known as authoritarian leader, the same as Mahathir Muhammad. Mahathir Muhammad is also known as authoritarian leader. Yeah, Suharto is also known as authoritarian leader. But the commitment, yeah, after the leadership, the commitment of Lee Kuan Yew to improve the state is clearly appear. Yeah. So the first is leadership. Yeah. Uh, what I mean the leadership, the Lee Kuan Yew is a graduate from the British University. Yeah. So he can speak English very well. Before he has policy to make English as the common or official language in Singapore. He is master in English. Yeah, he is master in English. So leadership is very important. Um, the same thing with Mahathir Muhammad. Yeah, Mahathir Muhammad. Yeah, in 80s. Yeah, Mahathir Muhammad sent Malaysians to learn abroad. Yeah, in overseas universities. Yeah. Then Malaysia hired foreign lecturer to come in Malaysia and to teach a Malaysia society. Yeah. In this case, sorry, I try to explain and compare both Singapore and Malaysia. Yeah. To measure the development those countries. Yeah. And Malaysia then hire foreign lecturer to teach in Malaysian universities. And what happened next? The Malaysian society, yeah, has overseas experience. The Malaysian student can speak English better than Indonesian student because they have opportunity, they have experience with the foreign lecturer. This is number one. Number two, those Malaysian who learn in overseas university, of course, after he graduated, he has the same quality with the graduate, with the foreign graduate. Yeah. So Malaysia can adapt the economic development rapidly. Yeah. But Singapore is more progressively than Malaysia and Indonesia. Lee Kuan Yew is radically changed the language. Yeah, he ignored the existing language like Chinese, like Malay, like Indian, and okay, you have a right to live in Singapore. Those language can live in Singapore, but in terms of official language, I will change radically. Yeah, this radical change in Singapore is to speed up, yeah, to foster the country to be engaged in the economic, global economic. So if you read the book, the first things, the ideality of Lee Kuan Yew is to become, what is it, the cycle of financial global. Jadi Singapura tuh ingin menjadi bagian dari perputaran keuangan global ya. Itu. This is the first ideal. So we have to change radically in terms of language. It is quite different from Malaysia. Yeah. Singapore is more progressive. Yeah. The secret is about the leadership. Yeah. So please compare to the Suharto. Yeah. I don't want to discuss this political circumstances because you know very well about this. Yeah. So the first things that I want to emphasize is the leadership. Yeah. This is in my opinion, this is the secret of Singapore, who can be more developed than other ASEAN countries, the leadership. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are you satisfied, Pak Yanuardi Syukur, for the answer?
I don't think so.
Very clear, very clear.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
clear. So,
Thank you, Ben.
thank you very much for the answer. So, Mr. Ruli, can I please continue my question because it has a relationship with what our president just now asked to you.
Okay.
Maybe just to, because I'm so curious. Sorry. Because talking about what we make what we compare from Singapore and also Malaysia and also Indonesia. You say just now that Singapore is more progressive rather than Malaysia and also Indonesia. Maybe Indonesia is the third level here if we compare to these two countries. You say just now that Malaysia has sent the citizens to study overseas and also how to say invite the foreign lecturers and give a higher salary to them to teach the citizens of Malaysia. And I think that the government of Indonesia also has prepared to us many scholarships to send the citizens of Indonesia to go overseas. So why we can make English become the second language in our country nowadays? And what is your point of view? Is it impossible in 10 or 20 years later we can make Indonesia or the positions of English in our country to be the second language also, or you have another opinion about that? Because I think that the government has tried to do the same things, such as to prepare scholarship to the citizens of Indonesia. And I remember that the government has applied RSBI, Rintisan Sekolah how to say Standar Internasional, international, and then itu how to say dibubarkan kembali. I don't know what is the consideration, apa pertimbangannya. So I think that by establishing RSBI, I think this is one of the way to make English become the second language in our country. So I think that we have also applied the same thing as Lee Kuan Yew do in Singapore, such as make in RSBI where the medium of instruction of the language is also English when we teach math, biology, and etc. And then we kita bubarkan kembali. So what's happened with Indonesia? So please your point of view.
It is. I guess this last question is most difficult to answer. It's about the Indonesian policy, how to use English. Many interests. We want to discuss about the Indonesian policy. Many interests. If you would like to discuss about this policy, but I am not sure how to make English as a second language in Indonesia. It must be started from the government. It must be started from the government in terms of the community, in terms of the NGO, in terms of the society. Probably they recognize the importance of English. For example, today we have a meeting in Google Meeting, using English as medium of instruction. It is part of the awareness of the people that we can use. But for government, probably they have different. they think that by using the English, the Indonesian language will be decreased or will be eliminated or will be eroded. Yeah, no more Indonesian are happy to speak in Indonesian language because they think that speaking English is more superior, is more modern, is more sophisticated. So they do not prefer to speak English anymore if the English become the second language. Yeah. So the question was, is it true? I'm not sure, but we have to. Yeah, it is very difficult. Yeah, it is very difficult policy because many considerations that the government has uh, to what is it to make a brief position, to make a brief policy, how to position it the English. Um, will English become the third language or become the second language is up to the how the government understand about the importance of English. Um, Nowadays, governments what is it provide a scholarship talented uh, for talented people who can study abroad. Yeah, but this decision, in my opinion, is okay. It's too late. Yeah. Late is better than never. Okay, but it's too late. If we look at Malaysia did, yeah, under the Mahathir Muhammad last a long time ago, before Indonesia recognized this matter. Um, but it's okay, no problem. Yeah. Um, but the important things that we as Indonesia has able to produce the what is it the English work, yeah, to disseminate our idea. What I mean, yeah, um, for example, for lecture, yeah, I am demanded to write international journal, for example, yeah, for Scapus Index Journal. This is way to disseminate our idea to the global. Yeah. So our homework is how to promote our what is it potentialities to the world using English. Yeah. I know some of you are writer, for example, and many of us write a book in Indonesian language. Probably we can try to write a book, to write a work in English, yeah, and probably we can publish our writing to the international publication. Yeah, this is probably our homework, how to engage, how to participate in global society use English. So even though English is not our second language, but we can still use English as second language by producing our work. Yeah, that probably can be published in international publication. And this is for a writer, for example. Um, for any profession, probably we can actively use English as a communication with probably with our counterpart, our friend, yeah, overseas, because we are connected in internet. We are connected globally. We can contact to our friend. We can contact to our counterpart overseas, yeah, by using English. I think we do not have to wait the government policy. We can start by ourselves to what is it to make English as a second language. I think now is the community level, not the government level. Yeah, thank you very much. It's not clear probably my explanation.
It's very clear, Paruli.
No.
Thank you very much for the answer, Paruli. All the questions have been answered by our honor speaker today. I think no more question from the audience, and I will close this session by Alhamdulillah Alamin for sharing your material. I hope that everybody here get something new or something new experience, new knowledge, and new all about Singapore. And I think that all of the participants here agree that this topic, of course, it enlarge our experiences and give us new knowledge about cross-cultural understanding, especially about Singapore country. Thank you, Paruli. Thank you for your time. Okay. Now maybe because we have one more speaker who has joined with us, I would like to invite Miss Winda to deliver self-introduction before we closing our meeting today. Are you here, Miss Winda? Miss Winda, are you join the meeting? No.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the time for you, Miss Winda.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Hi everybody. Sorry, I was late to join because I sleep. Okay. My name Winda Septiana. I'm 28 years old. Now I'm living in Puchong, Selangor, Malaysia. I'm the older from family. I have one sister and two brothers. In here, I'm working in Malaysia company as administration. Okay. Thank you for attention and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Winda. That's very clear and interesting introduction. I think because we are limited by the time, if someone or the participants here, you would like to ask question, maybe you can directly send or ask via WhatsApp to Miss Winda. Okay, guys. I think because we have spent 2 hours. Actually, our schedule is only 1 hour and a half, but I think because the topic is very interesting, so we spent 2 hours for discussion today. And I would like to say thank you very much for your nice attention and also participations in our meeting. And then I hope that after joining our meeting today, we can enlarge our some new vocabularies and also get more knowledge and more advantages. And then what else? I would like to invite you again for anyone who are the new member here. You can join with us in our group because we have a WhatsApp group in Rumah Produksi. So it's the RPI-ES. And then I would like to inform you again next week. We will conduct also our the third meeting of our Let's Speak class. And then you can also join with us in the same time. Okay. Thank you very much for your nice attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you all.